Have you heard something along these lines from your pastor where he says, God's not a big genie in the sky, just here to bless you and grant your every wish and desire? You've probably heard that, haven't you? And I'm okay with that. It's true. He's not a big genie in the sky. But you know what you don't hear taught? You don't hear that although God's not up in heaven there just to bless us, did you know he created man for the specific purpose of blessing man? Did you know you were created to be blessed? Probably haven't heard that preached before, have you? Well, where would I get such a crazy idea? How could I justify saying something like that? Well, I got an idea. Let's look at the very beginning of creation when God created man. Let's take a look. We're going to go back to Genesis, okay? Chapter 1, verse 26 through 31 in the King James Version. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the flesh of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon earth." Now, let me stop there just for a second. That was just verse 26. So the first 5 days of creation, God created everything that we see, everything we can smell and touch and feel. He created all of this. Now, I want to ask you for a second, who did he create it for? Did he create it for himself? Did he create it for the angels? No, he created it for man. The first 5 days of creation were to create something for man. On the sixth day, he created man. And he gave us dominion over everything that he created. Who did he create it for? He created it for us. Let's continue reading. So God created man, I'm in verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said, wait a second. God created male and female. And then what's the first thing it says that God did? Verse 28, and God blessed them. The very first thing he did after creating them was he blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in the which the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So God created everything on earth, the fowls of the air, the fish in the sea, the cattle, the beasts of the field. Who did he create them all for? He created them all for man. Think about that for a second. He created everything, and the last thing he created was man and woman. And the very first thing God did with man and woman was bless them. And he gave them dominion over everything on the earth. Now, how can you tell me that we weren't created to be blessed if that's the very first thing that God did? Now, we're created to bring glory to God. We are created, to follow his will, to walk in faith. But the very first thing God did when he created man and woman was to bless them. So don't let anyone tell you that we are not here to be blessed by God. Don't anyone tell you that his blessings are not a big, huge part of his will for your life. He gave us dominion over everything. But don't think for a second that it's not God's will to bless your life. Don't believe that lie. It's true. You were created to be blessed, among other things, but that is one thing that you were created for, in order for God to bless you. Don't forget that.